Sometimes an actor goes through all of the training and all of the courses and pays all their dues and does very well and enjoys the education and the process, and then comes out of all of that, we're talking years now, steps out into the bright lights of the industry with all its mechanisms and all of its professional trappings, takes a long look around, and then says, meh, you know what? I don't think this is for me. I don't love it. And today, Jay and I talk with just such an actor. His name is Rob Cairns. But don't worry about good old Rob. He's landed on his feet. In fact, Rob and I recently completed an audiobook together, as he has now become an audiobook producer and works with voice artists to produce showreels with his Voice Reel London startup. So if you're in the need of a voice reel and you're in the London area, have a word. Mention you heard about him on the Offstage Acting podcast and get a whopping 75% discount, exclusive to our listeners. I'm just kidding. Make it, 15%. Yeah, that sounds good. We get all into drama schools and audio performance and more in this episode with Rob Cairns, ladies and gentlemen.
I think it's because I was raised by a mother that if you didn't notice she got a haircut, she'd be like,
Yeah,
so you just learn to be like, oh my gosh, your hair looks good. Did you get a haircut? You know, it's like it's a measure, right? It's just like a countermeasure so that if they did get a haircut, you got it. Yeah. That should have been recorded.
It was.
Great.
I don't know what we could do with it.
You know, offstage acting. That's an offstage acting tip right there.
There you go. How to pay attention.
Or pretend you're paying attention.
I'm going to pretend to have fun during this podcast.
Manifest it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Offstage Acting Podcast.
Welcome one, welcome all. Hello.
I'm Todd Kramer.
I'm Jay Reum.
We are your hosts and
sidekick.
And we're so glad that you could be with us here today on the Offstage Acting
Podcast.
Very well done.
Podcast.
Dun, dun, dun. That was pretty good, Jay. A little back and forth.
That was pretty good, Todd.
I like that.
Yeah, it's as if I can, pay attention to you and be like,
and respond, listen,
and respond.
It's pretty good. That's that actor training coming out, isn't it?
Well, that is an actor training. You would be surprised how many people do not.
Nobody can do it. No, they can't. I mean, really, it's not even a joke.
No, actually, we're not joking.
It frustrates me to death when I get into like a real situation with civilians. And they don't know how to like
listen and respond.
And stuff like that. And they just go, nah, I don't think so. Or my kids, do that. And I'm like,
it's like you could like snap your fingers in front of them or clap them and they're like, clap and be like, are you here?
Yeah.
Hello?
Are you listening?
Woo-hoo.
So that's why actors are the best people. Improv, I think improv people are the best of the actors.
Just because they listen and respond. That's actually, I'll say
critical.
Yes to that.
Yeah. Listen and respond, and then they're kind of funny as well, and they know how to
good-looking and charming and
youthful,
still giving,
full of vigor. I mean, improv people are the best. You're an improv person.
I am an improv person. I want to be more of one, but at my core, I think I am.
I would love to.
You're
do
an
more.
improv person.
Yeah. I was with the Groundlings for years, and I taught for years. I still teach. And if I'm teaching acting, if I say I'm teaching acting, it's usually I start with, it's all improv. Yeah. And then I'll get you shifted into scene study and stuff like that. But if you can't just do the basic, and if you don't like it, that happens a lot too.
We're not, it's
you
not
can't
be
taught by me. Yeah. Like I've had actors go, I don't want to do can we just do the scenes? Like, I don't want to do the games. I don't want to do the warm-ups. And you go,
come on, man.
This isn't going to work out for you.
This isn't going to...
Acting's not your thing. It's not your shtick. It's not your bag. Have you done... Yeah?
Oh,
no, you go.
I bet your question was going to be better. Mine was going to be meaningless.
That doesn't surprise me.
Oh,
but let's try it anyway.
You want me to go? Okay,
give me the meaningless question, because I've already forgotten what I was going to say.
Oh, okay, great. Well, so it's like I think it might be over, but there's the Planet Parade. Have you heard of this? Right?
Planet Parade.
Yeah. All the planets have been in alignment.
Right. They get out there. Is that on Main
Look at the
Street?
sky.
And they
No,
go
you can
down
on Main
in
Street.
Cadillacs, and they
Yeah, like
ticker tape.
That's right. Jupiter is on the
Here it
high
is.
street
Here comes
right now.
Venus, looking gorgeous,
Oh.
and Saturn
And Miss
wearing
Mars,
beautiful
woo,
ring
she's
on
red
Saturn. Okay, sorry, that's
okay.
dumb.
No, so the real
Planet Parade, yes. Andy's into that. He loves his planets.
No, I've been enjoying.
Our
You
own
can
boy,
actually
Andy.
see the sky. And I actually got a star chart reading the other day.
Okay.
Like someone came over and did it for like 4 hours. Not even joking.
Wow.
He had like 8 pages of stuff, but in all that was random to be like, I was curious
About
what your
the
zodiac sign is,
Right.
and if you like what you think about it.
Oh, you're talking to me about my zodiac?
Yeah, that was the question. I've now covered the question.
Well, yes. Do you know anything about it? You could guess.
Wait, is it Gemini?
No, I'm not some toothpaste.
I'm trying to think.
Both my parents were Gemini, though, and there's something
You're like,
to
oh
it.
God.
Yeah, they were both toothpaste.
Oh, okay, so I'm reading your parents on you. But I thought you were born. I'm trying to think of your birthday. That's why.
Birthday's coming up, and if you wanted to think about something, I can give you some gift
Oh.
ideas. April 7th. I won't give the year, 1986. But
Yeah.
1986, I says.
He's telling the truth. Telling the truth.
April, which makes me
like
we have a guest to get to, by the way, so.
Yeah. It gets, well, I would guess either, is it Aries?
Good guess. That's right. Well, good guess if you know.
That fits for
dates.
you, actually.
Yeah.
That fits very strong for you. Actually, that's correct.
That's correct. Yeah, that's accurate.
I can't believe I guessed Gemini. I'm ashamed.
No. Fire sign,
you're
first sign of the zodiac, the strongest, god of war, the strongest, the most creative, best looking, the one that butts its head into everything.
Oh my
and
God,
my
you are
partner
such an
Justine is
Aries.
also an Aries, and you should see us go like ram sometimes, just ka-yow.
All right, I'll take a rain check to that. But
you should see it
to watching you
sometime.
two ram. Yeah. I'll take a rain check to that.
That's not what That's not what it sounds like, people.
That's what you said.
Butt
what anything
heads,
sounds like. You
because
said you should watch each other ram. You said
all right.
that.
So, was that the question you were going to ask me? That meaningless?
Yeah,
that
what's
was
your zodiac sign?
My zodiac. Okay,
that's
so I'll tell you this. There's another thing, and then we'll get on with it. Human design.
Human design.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of a thing, and Justina, my partner, got into that. And you go a little deeper with things, and that she got like, I think 50 pages back after you put in your birthday, and then it's down to where you were born, the time you were born, and all that stuff. And I've had zodiac charts done quite extensively in the past as well, but the human design, check it out. I'll give you more information off air. But it came back with some seriously accurate information.
Oh, that's interesting.
And she can, yeah. She can walk you through some of that too when you talk to her next.
Why haven't we gotten Justina on yet? That's great.
Not an actor.
Oh, okay.
And nothing to do with acting, other than she's ramming an actor from time to time.
Yeah. In anger, like an Aries.
Get lucky.
So the guest.
So when was that? Have you done any audiobooks lately?
I have not.
No. Okay. I did one not long ago, as you recall. It was a financial thing. I guess it was a good book. The guy was a well-known author. I was bored to tears. I don't know what I'm talking about, but it was one of those. But and
your
so
voice fits for financial. I hear it.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
It was called The Humble Investor, I think.
No longer hear it.
Dear, nothing humble about. It was about how to invest humbly, not to be humble, something like that. Anyway, so and the engineer and I got along quite well. We spent a couple days together. And, it's kind of, you've done them before, obviously, audiobooks, right? So when you're not doing them at home, you get the best is when you go in work with an engineer, right?
Yeah.
It's because then you're not having to punch and roll on your own, and you don't have to like stop, and it becomes exhausting.
And you're not alone. You're not alone. Honestly, I'm not joking.
That's true. You're right. Somebody else is listening to this trite words and going, "I'm with you, man."
And mad respect honestly, for the engineer who can just like sit there and listen for hours.
And he caught
and catching things. Yeah.
He was catching things. Like he had to be on it, you know. And then in our downtime, in our little breaks and things, we talked to all sorts. Turns out he's an actor.
Oh.
Who studied acting at, well, maybe I'll let him tell you. But and so I was like, he's like, yeah. And then he's doesn't do it anymore. Went to all the trouble of getting a degree or certification or degree, I guess, because he went to a university, and then just shifted gears when he got out. And he's like, no. But it's interesting because he has all the training, and he done it. You know, he did everything. So it was like we were saying before, you know, hanging out with an actor. But now he's on the other end of it. So I thought it'd be interesting to have a little convo.
Love that.
Yeah, with Rob Cairns is his name. Super duper guy, real cool, nice, fun, and we don't have any show reel to show you.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because he's not.
You didn't.
I didn't dig.
Deep into his school.
Yeah, right. Find some old clip of him, like when he's 12 on stage playing Cyrano de Bergerac or something. No, I didn't manage to find out anything about him. But I thought, let's get a little lowdown, a little inside scoop on how, you know, first of all, him and how it works, and how he went from acting into being a sound engineer.
Yeah, the transition.
Like the transition into mindset. That, and how that, you know, one informs the other. And he's also kicking off a little business of his own where he's providing show reels, audio reels for actors.
Oh, that's useful.
Very useful, right? So we're gonna have a word with Rob. And should I hesitate anymore? Should I give more? Should I give further ado?
No.
Or without further.
Please,
without further ado.
More ado.
Here he is. There's Rob. Rob.
Hey,
buddy.
Clapping.
You get clapping. Every guest gets it.
What a lovely intro. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Welcome.
Yeah, and I'm a Virgo, by the way. Before you ask.
Oh my gosh, I was going to ask. You're a Virgo. Is that September?
That's the Virgin.
No, that's Libra.
Yeah.
September's Libra. Yeah.
What does that tell you, Jay, about my?
Jay doesn't know anything about it.
I don't know. Wait, I don't know. But does Virgo mean that you're like that you're a bit obsessive? That you can be really like things have to be pretty compartmental and kind of perfectly placed? I'm trying to think of a stereotype.
I think he's kind of innocent, isn't it? A little bit of like an innocence about him.
I'd say the innocence thing rings more bells than the
first one.
Thing. Yeah.
Right. But also very loyal, as far as I know.
Yeah. No, I'd say loyalty is. I mean, these are kind of words which everyone thinks that they.
Yeah, I could just say, intelligent. You'd be like, definitely.
Intelligent,
beautiful-minded.
Mammal.
Mammal.
Yeah, generous mammal. Yeah.
Has teeth.
Tell us where you went to school.
Yes. So yeah, you're right.
Let's drop the bomb.
I went to university, did drama there in UEA in Norwich, and then I went to Oxford School of Drama for a year.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So did the kind of post-grad course there. Spent a couple of years doing, trying to be an actor.
Yeah.
I graduated in 2018, and then
COVID sort of.
Yeah.
Right.
That old chestnut.
Yeah. That old chestnut. Oh, COVID. Yeah, that would have screwed things up. Yeah.
It did a bit. I mean, actually, you know what? I was on some level probably realizing that the working actor's life wasn't the same as being in lots of plays at university and school.
Right. Having fun and constantly doing things and being challenged and
exactly. So I think
smarter than the rest of us then. So there it is. Virgo,
or
probably.
just more of a quitter, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, a combination of the two. A smart quitter who couldn't handle it, but also understood.
The sequel to The Humble Investor.
The smart quitter.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I gave up. Well, you know what? It's you guys are both fully locked into the acting game, but I'm sure this is a situation a lot of actors are in, where they're kind of weighing up the pros and cons of whether they want to keep with it
constantly. I still do.
Yeah, and I remember an actor saying to me when I was maybe 17, 18, thinking about getting into it, it's got to be something which you can't live without for you to do it, or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think in my heart of hearts, I thought, I probably can live without.
I could live without this.
I like it. I have at times been fairly good at it, and not consistently. Like, I also, a lot of coming out of drama school was going, "Am I quite bad at this?"
Right.
Right.
And
I've just been kind of indulged.
Yeah. Right.
To this point.
Yeah, but so you went to Exeter and then you went to Oxford, and those aren't easy schools
UEA, Norwich, and then Oxford, Yeah,
UEA. What does that stand for? UEA.
University of East Anglia.
University of East Anglia, right?
Yeah.
Right. And to get in those schools, you had to audition, presumably.
Yep.
So, and they're not stupid there. Like it wasn't like a startup program with me and Jay going, well, let's get some actors in here. I don't know. I guess he's all right. Pretty good. He's got the money.
There was an audition process. I don't think everyone who auditioned got in.
Okay.
So there is, there was some level of...
You broke through somewhere, yeah.
Yeah.
Filtration.
Oh, sure. You know what? Maybe I'm doing myself down a little bit. Like, it was something I put a lot of time into the craft, and
you took it seriously.
Yeah. And I think I have a personality which is quite well suited to performance, and it wasn't just a complete random turn of events.
Totally.
Like, well, they came to you and they went, you got to pick something. And you went, I don't like maths, and I don't want to do science. Looks hard. Ooh, what's the theater one?
Yeah.
And they went, it's hanging out with girls and flopping around on stage in leotards. You were like, I'm 100% in.
Theater, you say?
Yeah. Wow, that sounds like better than the other options.
Everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you shift over to Oxford. So what was the thinking there?
Well, that was, that's a real drama school.
Yeah. So that's you're pursuing, right? That's where the leotards are authentic.
So UEA drama course at university was 50% spent in the pub, I'd say, and that was great fun, and exactly what I needed when I was 18.
Yeah,
and I learned a huge amount because you're just putting on plays with your mates, and there's less structure there. Yeah. But
what was expected of you there at Oxford to come? Was it academic at all, or was it all performative?
All performance.
Right.
Huh.
Yeah.
And what were you meant to kind of come out with? Because obviously you didn't finish, but was it 2-year degree, 4-year degree, or was it a certificate? What was it meant to do?
Oxford was 1 year. It was like the postgrad masters.
In performance.
Yes, in acting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's all blacks. That's we're wearing blacks. We're doing voice and movement, and they're long days. You get loads of, particularly because they're in the 1 year course. They're kind of shoveling the 3-year course into one.
I was going to say, because 1 year doesn't seem like enough time, but so you're getting all the technique, you're getting all the methods. You're getting exposed to everything.
We weren't shortchanged in any way, but you were also doing so much that I'm not sure you have much time to let that teaching settle. So
right. And then you're in the pub every night too, trying to have fun.
Well, there was no pub, really. There was no, when I was at drama school 1 year, we were all so overworked that it was kind of not overworked. We signed
tired.
We were tired. So we'd go to.
It's like being on a professional sports team to some degree, or college sports team.
Yeah.
A lot of training, and then so you train, and then you perform.
Well, yeah, and it's also
got
like
the
the
game.
next morning, like you have to get up early the next morning, so like you can't
you
go
can't
out.
go boozing, like just like if you're on a football team, professional, like a college football team or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It would be miserable being hungover at drama school. I'm sure people do it, but
again, what were you meant to kind of come out? What was the idea? What were they promising, or what were they saying? Like, once you come out of this, then you go straight into professional. Like, you'll start trying for the professional stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you do the showcase in front of all the agents at Soho Theatre.
Wow.
Or we did it at Soho Theatre.
Oh, fun! That's awesome.
And the you get spotlight profile and
equity. Right. So
yeah.
Come out well prepared.
You've graduated from a good,
reputable,
UK drama school. You have that kind of on your CV that gets you into some rooms, at least.
Yeah, it'll kick a door down or two. Yeah, for sure. More than just coming out with bupkis.
Indeed. The issue is that it doesn't get you into as many rooms as you were perhaps naively hoping it.
Sure.
Sorry, naively hoping. Before you start.
Especially at 18 or 19.
Yeah. And when I graduated when I was 22, and I thought, well, there are loads of Timothée Chalamet's about my age. Right. If he's doing it, then am I getting behind?
Right.
That's the kind of
I'm an
crazy
old man
mindset.
Already. Right.
And I think I am behind him now. Just about.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's
pretty close.
Done like 4 or 5 big movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you can still catch up.
There's still time.
Something happens.
Yeah. I don't know what my biopic will be.
So when at what point? Yeah, I can imagine. Well, we'll think of some titles. Jay will think of. He's already thinking of titles.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking of who you're gonna play, right? Like who?
Yeah, not
Timothée
Dylan,
Chalamet could play you
Ooh.
in a biopic, and then you would catch up. Like that would be the way to catch up, because you'd be like, well.
Yeah, I like that.
That's pretty good. He looks like you, actually. He parallel.
Thank you.
Yeah. He looks like you. See what I did there, Jay?
Yeah, I did.
Most people go, you look like, they tell me that, you look like Kevin Bacon. Everybody ever tell you that? I go, did they ever tell you that he looks like me? Like an uglier, pug-nosed version of me? Uglier, older, pug-nosed version of me?
Kevin, we're so sorry.
I'm sorry, Kevin. Nothing, but
Kevin,
I love Kevin.
I love Bacon.
But he does
we
have
went
a
to
little
the
bit
same. We went to the same university. I can't trash talk Kevin Bacon.
I'm not trash talking. Dear God, we all have 6 degrees
of separation from Kevin.
From Kevin.
But you guys both train in the States, or do your?
Yeah,
I think I did both. I trained in the States and here.
You obviously haven't been listening to every episode of the podcast.
Most of them, but not all.
Yeah, I did more LA and Jay did more New York.
Okay.
Correct.
Essentially.
All bases covered between you.
Yeah. In a sense. And then, of course, there's like a 2 or 3 year discrepancy in our ages. So.
Yeah, maybe less.
We've never bothered.
We're kind of like twins, actually.
We've never bothered to calculate. Although my wisdom does make me seem slightly older than him.
Yeah, and my youthful vigor makes me seem young.
Younger, but we're almost parallel ages. But let me get back to my question, because I do want to kind of, and then we can move from there. But okay, at what point do you say, all right, you're in London, you got an agent?
Yeah.
And you were doing your castings, you're going out for auditions and stuff, right?
Well, not really.
Not really. So then what point do you go, I've done all this, but it's nobody. Was it the fact nobody really explained to you what it was going to take, or you started doing it and saw that it like, this is a schlep. I'm not into all that. How did you say, not for me?
I'm not sure there was a specific moment that I can pinpoint.
Find a specific moment. That's what audiences want to hear.
This is okay.
No, that's fine. However,
I started doing the sound stuff on a freelance basis, and I just I could barely turn a computer on, but they very kindly kind of taught me how to do that.
Who's they?
ID Audio, the studio where we
Yeah.
recorded
So okay.
the book.
Would they just had an advert out saying we're looking for schlubs?
Yeah, we're looking for guys who are so
Useless?
unqualified for this. Yeah,
Looking for a useless 22-year-old out of work actor. And
yeah.
they're like, I'm one of those. I can do
Hey.
that. Who can't turn on a computer.
Yeah.
They just described me to a T. Slip in Virgo and boom.
Yeah, they were looking. Yeah, so yeah, sorry. Yeah, they were looking for. No, how did it work? How did it happen? So, I started proofing audiobooks in lockdown, just as something to earn a bit of money.
And is proofing where like you're basically listening and making sure everything is correct?
Yeah,
Like the
in fact,
recorded?
what I was doing, yeah, I was so some publishers have a system where you have someone Skyping in with the engineer and the actor as a kind of second pair of eyes, just making sure that it's all word perfect.
All right, yeah.
So I would do that from home, and
Right.
it was pretty simple and nice and quite boring, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And I met some of the producers at ID on those Skype calls, got along well with them. And then one of the guys there, who is one of the senior producers, asked me if I wanted to come in and just learn how to record an audiobook. Yeah. And
That's cool.
I thought not sure. I'm not sure I really want to go down that avenue. I still want to be an actor.
Mm-hmm.
I think I do anyway. Maybe I shouldn't do that. But then I thought, well, I might as well. My career doesn't seem to be going anywhere.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a full-time gig anyway to go in and produce an audiobook
exactly.
from time to time. And it's a nice skill to learn. I would love to have learned like how to work a professional
Yeah. And
audio deck or whatever.
Yeah.
Sound mixing board and all that.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is an absolute. You could never learn. Well, you probably could, but I know 0.1% of how to use all of the equipment.
Yeah,
is available.
That was clear on the day when I was in there.
Yeah, and it was clear on the setting up of this podcast. But
yeah, and as we set up this fucking, wow,
let them peek behind the curtain.
Yeah.
How
long you been doing it then?
I've been doing it for 3 years.
Okay.
Have I done it? Yeah, 3 years.
This is our opportunity to. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, and then the first year I was kind of still considering being an actor,
Right.
but not. I could feel myself not having the desire that's required. That's probably the actual answer to your question. It felt like a bit of a struggle trying to make myself do proactive, actory things. And then I kind of tuned in with myself and said, if it's this much of a struggle, then maybe that's a sign that actually this is not what you want to do, or this is not what you need to do.
Right. Yeah. Was there something about it that just, I kind of want to pinpoint some of that. Because it's for young actors, particularly who go to drama school, and this is what I always say, the drama school is going to teach you how to be a good actor. They're going to teach you technique, and they're going to teach you all that. But they're not going to do much to teach you about how to get jobs, teach you what it's like out there in the real world, hit in the streets. They're not going to teach you what it's even like on the set once you actually get the job. What are you meant to be doing and how? They're not going to teach you how to network and all that kind of stuff. So I think there's a big eye-opening moment. You come popping out of drama school or academy or university or whatever it is, your training camp, and boom, eyes wide open, you go, I'm ready. And then it's like the reality of show business, and it is a business, right? Kind of comes crashing down, and you go, oh, I'm meant to make a living. And like you had said before, you kind of get coddled in your little protective university bubble or drama school bubble where you're in every show and you're you can be one of the beloved ones in a sense, and you're with people you love, and you're making great stuff, and all of a sudden you're a nobody, and you're in competition with a bunch of others who maybe are somebody, and even if you do get the gig, these aren't your friends. They're producers and directors and crew and cast that expect you to show up as a professional. So there's a whole lot that goes on, and I don't know how much of that resonated with you at the time.
Well, that's absolutely my experience of it, where I kind of and I felt like the reason I started acting and loved acting became such a distant idea of that felt so far away, and what I was trying to satisfy was my ego, my very fragile ego. So I was desperate to get a couple of lines in the bill or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if that exists.
Corey.
Yeah.
Coronation Street. Yeah, it's just some low grade,
And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's a useful stepping stone, I guess.
Yeah, everybody does that kind of stuff. I think in the States it would be.
Yeah, it's not why I wanted to act, to say a couple of lines, as like a butcher or what.
Right. Policeman number 3. Yeah.
Yeah. So I felt like, I wanted to remove the financial pressure of that being my...
Okay. Financial pressure, amongst other pressures, maybe.
Go on. Which other pressures?
The pressure to succeed in a way that makes you feel, even if it's not financially, but it can be a multitude of ways, that makes you feel as if you're on the right path, and you're... See, with acting, of course, the thing, you're only as good as the last thing you did. And that timer, that starts ticking over pretty much when they go, well, that's a wrap for Robert. All right. Thanks for coming, on your one day on the thing. And then from there, tick, 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 tick. And then it's released and it comes out, and you get to kind of go on social, you get to go, hey, check me out in this episode of The Bill. It's on starring tonight. And then your friends go, oh, that's cool. And then kind of about 2 days later, they go, well, what's next? And you go, what are you talking about? That was it. I mean, that's not big enough. Then next thing you know, it's 2025, and you haven't done anything for 3 years, whatever it is.
And you're chasing that acknowledgement from people rather than the artistic gratification.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. Yeah. So there's this kind of constant, where you have to go, oh, I need to nail something. Every day that passes by that I'm not working is another day that I'm not going to get paid 6 months from now, because the pay's not coming in. But it goes even beyond pay, where it's just for my own sense of who I am and what I do and how I feel about myself. Whereas you've got stability in the job you do, even though it's still freelance, really.
It's freelance, yeah. But I feel like I have a more tangible ladder to climb in the industry, in the kind of direction I'm going. Whereas obviously acting can just be completely out of your hands, as you both know.
More structure.
Yeah. If I learn these skills, I probably will be able to do this.
Move up. And
If I get this credit, then that will count for something.
Yeah.
More than...
It'll count for something. Yeah. Well said.
That's exactly it.
Exactly.
Nobody says, "Oh, you did. You've paid you've made your bones. You've grafted in your 20s, and now we're going to give you better premium roles. You're going to start. You've earned your stars and bars, as it were. Now you're back to just the grind, and that's why you see actors in their 60s and 70s who are, if they love it, they love it, but they're still kind of just doing scratching at about the same level that they were at in their 30s. And that'll be Jay, for example. Jay, this is our opportunity to talk to someone about what it's like to be on the other end.
Yeah. Well, I've been thinking as you've been chatting about, this is a bit odd of an analogy because I feel like Todd's been trying to get you to talk about like a single moment, but like I don't know if you ever heard how to boil a frog. I know this is a random story.
Well, it's not how to boil a frog.
Yeah, it is. It's how to boil a frog, and I'll tell you exactly why.
I know what you're going to say, but
great.
nobody,
Well,
maybe Rob, it's not how to boil a frog.
Okay.
It's if you boil a frog slowly, it doesn't feel pain.
Right. If you stick a frog into boiling water, it'll jump out.
Right.
But if you stick a frog into not boiling water and you get it to boil, it won't realize the water has started to boil and it'll stay in and it'll cook.
Right.
Right.
But the analogy isn't for people who want to cook and eat frogs.
No, but how to boil a frog is similar to what like Rob is talking about of like.
Yes, I get that
experience
part. Yeah.
Of, realizing something. Sometimes you don't realize things in a boiling moment. Sometimes like life has been boiling for the past 5 years and you've just never seen it.
The slow realization that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about, and I bet there's a lot of.
Rob is the frog in this. He's the frog in the pan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or am I boiling the frog? I'm not sure. I don't. Yeah.
Well, I guess that's your choice.
That's for our cooking podcast.
Yeah.
How to boil a frog with Jay Reum.
With Jay Reum, where I do it live. No, I couldn't do that. I could not watch a frog. I kind of hate the analogy because I hate to think about a frog boiling to death. But I bet there's a lot of people out there that are in the same boat. I know in my life, there are things that I know aren't necessarily working in a way that I want to, or like there's things going on, but I don't realize it, right? There's like water boiling around me, but I don't have the awareness to see it. So while you've been talking, I've been thinking about that. That's been like, that analogy has been on me. And I'm sure there's a lot of other actors.
Let me ask Rob this. Do you ever think you ever miss it?
Yeah, that's a great question. And
thank you. That's what I do. I ask great questions.
It's quite a good question. It's quite an obvious question. And the answer is sometimes. Yeah, I sometimes dream about it. I sometimes wake up in a cold sweat thinking, no, I've let go of the dream.
It's not too late though, right?
Well, yeah, that's true to an extent. It would be, no, that is true. It would be quite a slog to now, in like 10 years, build the career that would feel.
It doesn't have to be a career for you. So for myself, I chose it as a career, which in retrospect, and Jay is learning from my mistakes. He still has time, and he's just kind of free floating and loving life, which is great for him. But for you, my friend, it can be a side hustle.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, maybe not even a hustle, and I don't mean like doing kind of
side love.
Yeah, I don't mean, I mean as in terms of like a side hustle. Like it can be something that you do out of the love of it, as Jay says. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's not even about the money.
Yeah, I think
you don't need the money.
I don't need the money. All right. Yeah.
You're loaded.
I'm loaded. Yeah.
No, I mean you don't need the money because you have a job. The thing that happens with actors, of course, is that you go in and it's like, oh my God, I need this job, and they can smell that like a woman can smell desperation on a single man.
Well, I sometimes wonder. I've no way of testing this because I haven't done any acting in a couple of years. But I wonder if I'd be way better now because I don't really care that much.
Well, there's something to it, yeah. You walk in and go, well,
the instrument would be less finely tuned.
Harrison Ford worked as a carpenter on film sets.
Did he?
Yeah, building the film sets, and he worked, so he knew everybody, and he had a perfectly decent job. And when he walks over to the Star Wars audition, he's in his coveralls, and coming out of the scene shop in Studio 7B, and he's got to walk down the lot and go see George Lucas, who he knew from doing American Graffiti. But that's just one example. And walks in his coveralls and goes, oh, yeah, I had the sides. I'll read it for you. And if you don't get the gig, it's fine. I got to go back to work anyway.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
So Han Solo.
That is so
Yeah.
Indiana Jones, isn't it?
So Han Solo. So Indiana Jones.
Han Jones, Indiana Solo. So that's just one example, like I say. But you know, there's something. I think there's something in there. I usually try to recommend to people, like young actors that I work with and help, aspiring actors, and tell them, look, if you really want to make this career, you got to do exactly the thing you said you got to do. You got to be all in it. You got to love every aspect of that, and then it can be your career. You got to love the self-tapes. You got to love the rejection. You got to love doing little dinky parts and nothing stuff and just being around it and doing small roles in community theater all the way up to, you know, having a big role in something that's meaningful. If you don't love the publicity of it, if you don't love the challenge of all that, and that's just not your bag, then it's probably not a career choice. But you can go one level up from hobbyist. A hobbyist is just somebody that does it for free, and on their side, and they do amateur drama and they do student films, and they kind of just poke around at it. But you could have it as something that's a side hustle, meaning, oh yeah, I've got an agent, I get calls, I pick up work when I can, you know, I do these things, and then there's no pressure on me to book the gig. Because I have a full-time job and I have a business and I have some other things that go on. But that's something you can do for decades.
Yeah.
Food for thought.
That sounds quite appealing. I think again, I'd come back to why do I love acting, or why do I love performance, and how much of that pure satisfaction is being satisfied with, you know, the kind of work that you could realistically get.
Why do you? What is the why?
Great question. Oh, I don't know. It's something to do with that feeling of well, it's the pure adrenaline, isn't it? The feeling of, I've never felt like this before. I am accessing a part of myself, particularly, you know, when you've been rehearsing something and then you have the adrenaline of being in front of an audience, and then it goes well and you feel like you're accessing a whole part of yourself that you've never
totally
been in contact with before.
There's a thrill there for sure. And it's also, for me, I don't know, the community spirit of it, the working with others, the project itself, if it's particularly moving or good or funny, you know, that you're creating a piece of entertainment, or you're creating something that's, I should say, meaningful to some degree. It's different if it's a commercial for, you know, indigestion tablets or something. But if it's like Waiting for Godot on the main stage, you know, with a really other talented actor, and people, you know, love it, even if you don't get paid for that, there's that kind of thrill, right?
Is that your favorite play, Todd?
No,
is that like your dream play? Is that like your dream role?
I would love to do that play, yeah. I would love to do that, of course, yeah. That's a great play. I like two-handers that are like, I would like to do True West, for example. That'd be great.
Oh, that fits for you.
You and I could do True West, probably.
Yeah, because we're close enough in age.
So we look like brothers. Yeah.
You guys should do a two-man.
We do kind of every week. We do a two-man improv podcast where we improvise as if we're real podcasters.
Yeah.
And we bring people in and pretend to interview them.
Yeah. We say pretending, but really we're manifesting it, right?
We just we just play
saying
the role of a podcaster. All right, now Jay, I was saying before, this is our opportunity to get it from the other end now. So, for fun,
okay,
since we have this chance, and then I also want to talk a little bit more about Rob, just as a human being, find out more about him personally, rather than just his
Thoughts on
how his dream of acting
career,
withered
yeah.
and died on the vine. Um,
You have such a way with words.
Thank you. What's it like to watch a bunch of actors come into the room then and hack up these audiobooks like me? Does that play any?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
You know what I mean? Like, do you? First of all, I'd be like, "Oh, this guy's terrible. He's doing it. Good job.
I could do this way better.
I do so much better. This guy doesn't know." And also, you can go, "Well, I know what I'm doing," and that's one thing I appreciate about you. Once I understood what that you were able to. You understood what I was doing, which is rare. Directors don't understand what we're doing. Audio engineers don't really understand it for the most part. Producers, others don't get what the actor's doing. You do. It's a huge, huge thing.
Well, I suppose this is a reflection of how my mindset's changed. Whereas when I started doing it, I probably was thinking, "Oh, I could do that better," or at least that's not how I'd have done that. And now I've kind of got more of a producer's hat on or head on.
Yeah.
And it's more.
Is this serve what I need?
I'm not in competition in any way with the actor.
No, I know that, but I mean, just from that perspective of like, okay, I know, what an actor has been through to train.
I think it's certainly very helpful to understand actors and to give notes which are going to be useful, particularly in an audiobook setting. You've got like 400 pages to get through in not that much time. We're not going to have a conversation about how you're going to deliver every line.
Right. I didn't like that reading. I think it was
Yeah, Todd, can you give me that, but with a little bit
emotion.
more?
Yeah.
And then the next sentence, do this, and then
yeah. And then we'll go back to the previous
It's not
sentence.
a performance. It's reading.
It is, yeah. And I've forgotten what I was going to say.
Producer.
You've had your producer's hack.
Yeah.
And so when you look at other actors, I guess, because you said you're not in competition with them, do you ever put yourself in their shoes?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Yeah, I can kind of hopefully know what's a useful thing to hear and what's not. And actually, if they're, a seasoned pro, me just say that line, just slow down, is much better than kind of sugarcoating something or going around the houses to say something. Whereas if this is their first audiobook and they're struggling, then I'm gonna try and find a way to. Confidence is really the most important thing. Give a few hopefully useful technical pieces of advice, but you have it's not like directing theater or
no, of course not. What's kind of different? So let's say for those listening who understand that, okay, this is an aspect of being an actor. It's primarily actors that are hired to read audiobooks, right?
It's almost entirely. Well, there are a few
professional readers.
I guess so. Yeah, guys who have worked in radio or that kind of broadcasting, who have got nice voices, can read for 10 pages without making a mistake.
Wow.
And then obviously we work with authors as well, which is always
of course, yes,
good fun.
Hard. Yeah.
And that's
I'm going to read my own book.
Well, fair.
I mean, I prefer it sometimes, but other times you're like, you should have just gotten a reader, buddy. You write brilliantly, but you read terribly. Yeah.
Well, I think publishers think it adds a layer of connection and authenticity.
Yeah, if you're famous, for sure. Or if
I listened to Matthew McConaughey's audio Green Lights. If you've heard it, he's an actor, so obviously he's good with it. But
my girlfriend won't start talking. She was reading that, listening to that. She wouldn't stop talking about it. I'm like, okay, I get it. He's great.
Huh.
I keep hearing about him reading his book, his life story book.
It's all right, Rob. Todd gets a little jealous sometimes.
Oh, no, I picked up on that.
We love him.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with a little Matthew McConaughey, except that he's whispering in my girlfriend's ear every night.
She sleeps to green lights. That's
she was doing that for a while. She was like, "Yeah, I fall asleep. His voice is he's so cool, man. You know, he just talk like this, and everybody falls asleep. I guess, man."
Yeah.
Anyway.
Speaking of indirect ways into the industry, didn't he just like, at 35 or something, just like walk his way into a room after living in a trailer doing something?
No, he started on a movie called Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, Richard Linklater.
Yeah, and he had a kind of a really small part, but he was so good and so funny, and had a bunch of kind of cool lines he was pulling out that they just kept putting him.
All right.
Yeah, that's his famous. And be a lot cooler if you did. You got any weed? You know, no. Be a lot cooler if you did. That kind of stuff. They get older. I get older. They stay the same age. Anyway, enough about Matthew. We're talking to Robert. So it does inform somehow. The acting informs the work you do now, which is good. Let's boost you up. We're going to do a big, let's because you're doing something that all actors need. Whoop, whoop. Talk about your new biz. And this is your opportunity to sell it.
Okay, wow, pressure. I a couple of years ago set up a company called Voice Reel London. Imaginative name, I know, but it does exactly what it says.
Easytofind.com.
Are you the first one?
Are we the first? We're the only company called Voice Reel London.
He's the first and only.
Well done. I'm surprised that wasn't taken.
There are companies with similar names, I won't lie, but that
Voice
is the only
Reel
one.
Manchester?
Sort of. Not as far as I'm aware, but probably.
London Voice Reel?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay,
what is Voice Reel London?
Yeah, not London Voice Reel, not. Anyway, Voice Reel.
Any
London.
other city? London, UK.
Voice Reel London.
Yeah. And we make voice reels for actors who are either trying to get into the voiceover business or are already in it and just trying to top up their portfolio. And we do commercials, video games, animation, corporate, documentary, audiobook. So we give a really thorough, well-rounded snapshot of your voice, which will hopefully get you an agent or be a great thing to send to casting people or to producers. And we record at ID Audio in Northwest London. Todd, where you came. It's a great
Tile
place.
Yard.
Yeah, it's a
Tile Yard.
No,
It's not Tile Yard. Sorry.
No, Tile Yard is 20.
No, that's another place. Yeah.
Yeah.
North. What's that place? What's that little area called?
It's Bronsbury Park.
Brunsbury Park. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, so for those that don't know, a voice reel is similar to a show reel. A show reel would be video clips of you from things you've done. But you can also you could take clips of stuff you've been in. But if you haven't been in anything and you want to create a reel for yourself, you could hire a company and they will do scenes for you. And they'll shoot those scenes and they'll make them look real. And then you can build a little artificial show reel that way. Voiceover artists will also do a artificial voice reel for themselves, and you want to kind of cover the gamut of, as Rob said, commercial, animation, video game, documentary, audiobook, maybe a couple other little things, and you can pop that all into a reel. It's about 2.5, 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, I'd say the commercials we do them separately, so we have a separate commercial reel, a separate video game animation reel.
Corporate.
In total, you might have 10 minutes of audio, including the audiobooks and everything.
Right.
But
they come out sounding like they're professionally done, like they were done for the product.
Absolutely. We mix them with music and sound effects. I've got my good friend and colleague Lawrence Pearson who does the mix, and he's a really, he's unlike me. He's got a degree in sound design and so on. So he's really brilliant at it. So they sound like they are professional pieces of audio content.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to really distinguish them between the actual commercial or an actual corporate video or whatever to something that was just sort of made up.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's an invaluable tool. Even if you're not, I remember I had a bit of a reel, but years ago I got mine done. My agent was like, let's maybe tune up your voice reel. And I still use a lot of it because it was stuff that I hadn't gotten work for yet. Or the stuff that I had done, you don't always get. Like, it's hard to find, they just go away. I started a thing years ago where if I really liked the thing I just did, I would sort of ask at the end, oh, could I get a copy of that? And that's a little pro tip. They're pretty nice usually if they go, oh, sure. You might have to chase them up a bit.
Excuse to chase them up, yeah.
Then you chase them up and get it. But the one-stop shop, and I went to a company, I will say the name because they no longer exist, so it's not competition for you, Rob. But I think I told you that anyway. I went to Tangerine.
Okay.
Which they were down in Soho years ago. And basically, they popped together a reel for me. And maybe I can even play it. Like a little sample. I won't play it all.
Let's hear it.
But let's see. Let me see what you think. Your opinion, your professional opinion. This is my video game reel. I made that myself, probably my commercial reel. Let's see what that one sounds like. Do I have to do anything, Andy, or is it going to play?
Introducing chef-level snacking. Faye crossovers. Coconut Greek yogurt with dark
real.
chocolate.
That's a real
It
one.
dates back to the first person to hoist himself between two
That's
trees
real.
and shout, "Behold, I'm Topov, the balancy guy, and I'm fantastic."
Here's some fake ones.
Doesn't matter how big or how small.
Real. Okay, those are all real. That didn't help anybody. Here's a fake one.
This is the new MacBook. Its advanced aluminum and glass enclosure is completely recyclable. It's engineered to be so efficient, it runs on 1/4 of the power of a single light bulb.
What do you think of that one?
Sounds great. Yeah.
Okay, now let's take a guess. You tell me if this is real or fake. Real or fake? Here we go. Little test.
Starbucks double shot espresso drink. Bring on the day.
Starbucks double shot espresso drink. Bring on the day. What do you think?
I think it would be fake because I think I recognize the music, but maybe not.
From the stock music.
Yeah, stock music. But I think it's
You are correct. You are correct. It's fake.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you. Let's do it. This is kind of fun.
Let's
do one.
Game, we should have
Here's a
started
good game.
this.
I know. We should have.
Yeah.
We got to it eventually. We figured out what's going to be fun. Okay, real or fake Kodak printers?
Our pigments work hard to create brilliant images. Nanopigment ink technology, only in a Kodak printer.
Let's have it one more time.
Oh, jeez.
Our pigments work hard to create brilliant images. Nanopigment ink technology, only in a Kodak printer.
Yeah, I think I'd have to listen to that transition moment a little bit more close. I think that's also. I think that's real.
You think that's real?
Yeah.
You are. Do I have a? I should have a little sound effect. Don't I have a cool sound effect? Ah, here we go. Yeah. I'll give you this. This is the sound effect. You're right. It's real.
Wow, well done.
That's my professional ear.
That's your professional ear.
Reason.
Okay, one more. One more. Now let's really. This is to the test.
Concept. Calvin Klein underwear. 360 seamless technology.
I had to go very deep on that because that wasn't my concept. I had to go kind of there. All right. Real or fake?
The Calvin Klein one.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jay?
I mean, I think just because of the way that he reacted after listening, it makes me think it's real.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it could be either. I think it would. That could. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the sound. Whenever I quiz Jay, I go like this. Come on, Jay, give me the answer.
Real or fake? I say real.
Okay. Yeah. You say real. You say fake. This is the sound for fake.
Okay. You haven't got a.
I know. I need a couple more. Like meh, meh. Then we'll have more fun on the show.
Rob, do you have any clips? Like, do you have any like?
Yeah. What's your website?
That'd be great, actually. My website is voicereellondon.com.
I can't believe you got Voice Real London. That is a compliment, by the way. That's actually well done.
Type in voice reels in London, and we do come up. That was what my thinking was.
Voice Real.
Yeah, I can't believe no one else has done it. You know, it's just the simple. You just did the simple, and honestly, well done.
Yeah, thank you. That's kind of you. I mean, my heart at the time I was setting it up wanted to call it like voice size or vocalis, but
yeah, something
Voice
cool.
Real London, that will last forever. Like, and everyone will go to it.
Here it is, Voice Real London.
We're in the middle of the middle of slightly tweaking the website, but it's
it looks great.
It does look good. I don't want that. I want to do this. Gallery
is what you want.
Yeah, why is it going that there? Listen to our reels. Here we go.
Yeah.
I want to hear my reel. I want to hear his reels. Have you had any famous people in there? Dish some dirt.
Rob Cairns.
We did one with the late late Timothy West, who very sadly passed away. If you know Timothy West.
No.
Oh.
He's a great old British actor, and I recorded his reel. One of the first ones I did.
Really?
That's weird. If you scroll down a bit, where is he? There he is.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, I recognize him. Let's hear his reel. Some of it.
Yeah.
My dear people of Britain, this year has been extra busy for me and my elves. We've been working overtime, making sure every last present is ready.
Elves?
But we need your help. We can't deliver your gifts all at once. So please don't wait till the last minute.
That's from the Lord of the Rings.
That sounds great.
It provides the full circle of care for all animals we rescue, rehabilitate, and rehome.
Yeah, rest in peace, Timothy West.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh. And that's nice. So then you put people's reels up that you've done.
Yeah, I mean, they're not all up.
Not
that,
all
that
up,
gallery needs updating, but
we've done more than that, I'm assuming. But there's plenty. Audiobooks.
Yeah, we've done quite a lot now. We've done probably about 30 or 40. 40
wow.
maybe 50.
Audiobook reels, yeah. Let's just go random Magdalena.
Problem med torra kinder och orenheter. Nya Superglow ansiktsskrubb. Gjord på återfuktande kokosolja och naturligt C-vitaminbesterande och rengörande fruktsyror.
This is going to be Turkish.
Her er din nye frisør.
No.
Hvad vil der ske, hvis I tog en kop Gevalia sammen?
She was Danish and Turkish. So we did
she was Turkish, right? Is that got a Turkish name? I know my Turkish.
Yeah, to leave, yeah.
Basil. Nice. Anybody else we should give a little props to?
Everyone, and
they're all brilliant. It's hard to choose. Let's go with Emma.
Every year, millions are lost to fraud. At NatWest, we'll never ask you for your full password or PIN, so never give it out, even if you think it's your bank calling. Learn how to protect.
It's good stuff. The tool is necessary. You get a little applause on that.
Yeah. Definitely.
I mean, it's a great tool, and I think it's a really simple one for actors to get. It's not pricey, I'll say that, overall, and you come away with something that's valuable, and then you can pass around for sure. You can always show it. I have no problem. Like you saw on my website, like I have my whole page up with all my voice stuff there, so I just point clients to that.
Go find the voice you want and see if I can deliver it for you. So it's I'm due a top up, for example. I think wouldn't hurt. And then also collect your clips as you go. You got plans for kind of expansion, or what's the goal?
It's
Every
getting
actor.
more and more busy at the moment, which is really nice. It's kind of started as a side hustle and it's becoming more of a 50-50 hustle with producing work. So keep on fine-tuning our process and being confident that we're doing a very good job. And then who knows? I mean, it doesn't have to be Voice Rail London. It can be, I don't know, Dogs Dog Sanctuary London. We can just branch into anything.
Right. Just slap London at the end of it, and
yeah,
it can be anything you want.
Exactly. But
Dog
it would all
Sanctuary
be under
seems like more of a lateral move,
as opposed to a kind of it's that rather than that.
Yeah, it's a downward spiral.
What is the next step then? Can you give me any
for
thoughts?
an audio engineer of your caliber?
Yeah.
Well, I think going into production of finding the right, and we talked about it a little bit, didn't we? We had a little couple powwows about some ideas, but finding the kind of a product. Audio's big. I don't know if you knew that. It's huge right now. So producing podcasts, for example, producing audio drama, finding little niche things. What was that thing you were doing late, Jay? What would you call those little mini?
It was called a Yoto box.
Yeah, the Yoto box.
Yeah,
but
you guys have done
the Chinese mini dramas you were doing. You were shooting those.
Yoto, yeah.
You did Yoto box.
You're talking about the vertical dramas, Todd.
The vertical dramas, but do those audio style. I think there's some options in there for this kind of thing. People like the audio because you can be on the move. So if you're finding good quality audio entertainment, especially short stuff, catchy, there's something to be said there. But I don't want to give you all the ideas because I'm not.
Yeah, I'll have to think of some things for myself. Yeah. Don't.
Where are you from originally, Rob?
I'm from near. Do you know Aylesbury? Do you guys?
Oh, of course. We had this conversation.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, no, near Tring, near the Huel headquarters.
The headquarters of Huel. There's shout out to Huel, Aylesbury.
Yeah, thank you very much for that Huel shipment. That's it's all gone now.
You made it all. Jay's benefited from the
t-shirt. Yeah.
The t-shirt we gave you too, yeah.
It's a nice t-shirt, I've got to say. Huel are good at making t-shirts.
They did a good job. They used to make all kinds. They were doing a clothing line for a minute, but then they discontinued. But I still I eat, wear, and live under the roof of Huel. Yeah, it's all Huel based.
I think Todd's been trying to wait to say this until we get advertising money, but it's just spilled out now.
Okay. Now, see, Robert's going to help me isolate this audio clip, and we're going to create a little moment where we go, Huel's an excellent product. Now you just blew it. God dang. Huel's an excellent product, particularly if you're a working actor on the go and you need to top up and you don't want to make mistakes with your nutritional. Okay, I need to write this.
Okay.
It's nearly there. It's nearly there.
I'm working on it. You don't want
fuel for you.
Human fuel for the actor in you. There's a little bit of actor in all of us.
For the human in all of us.
The human actor fuel. Anyway, Huel, if you're listening, we're open to discussion.
To receive money.
We're open to deals.
Have you got any other brands that you're kind of
hawking?
Yeah.
Promoting?
Conversation with?
I don't know. We can slip a few more brands into this part. We got Offstage, we got Huel, we got Voice.
It used to be Libsyn, right? That was a while ago, though.
We host the podcast on Libsyn.
Yeah.
I don't support them. I mean,
what's Libsyn?
It's a podcasting host platform.
Okay.
Liberated Syndicate, I think it stands for. But that's Elsie, my good friend Elsie. She's works for Libsyn, and she sort of helped us.
And she
got
helped
this
us.
podcast off the ground with a lot of insight. She's part of the Podcasting Hall of Fame. She's been doing it about 15 years since podcasting was.
Yeah, this is a very professional operation you've got going here.
Thank you. Yes, we agree. That's all down to boy Andy.
And Todd Kramer.
And myself. Yeah. I didn't want to do anything half measures, as it were. Do you ever get up to Aylesbury for a visit? See the folks?
My parents are in Norwich now, but they're moving to Devon. So
nice.
Fancy.
Yeah, moving all around the country. No, I don't go there too often, sadly. Although all of my, my home friends, are in London, I guess. Most of them. Yeah,
sticking around. Yeah, we're holding it down for you here in the Bedfordshire.
The Bedfordshire, Buckinghamshire.
The Beds, Bucks, Hearts.
Yeah.
We got it on lockdown, yeah.
Do you ever go to Aylesbury? Do you ever go to the theatre there to watch a touring production of...
No, I want to get in touch with those guys because I represent Equity for Bedfordshire as a branch officer, and I want to... but I am doing something with the local Leighton Buzzard drama group, which will be coming out soon. Maybe you want to shoot up and check it out. You can check it out end of March. We're doing Hello, Hello 2, which is a bit of a fun play about the show, basically.
About the TV show, Hello, Hello.
Kind of the TV show, yeah. It's a big cast, 24 people, I think, in the cast.
Oh,
in total. Yeah, it's crazy. And it's a massive set, and it's only 3 nights, but they're going all out. And
have fun.
It's fun. It's fun. And it's local. They're actually quite good. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with what I see for amateurs. I think there may be 1 or 2 professionals. I haven't really had that conversation with anybody, but I don't like to promote myself as a pro because if I'm terrible, then I'll just I'll pretend I'm one of them.
I'll just slink into the shadows.
Just be like, well, I'm just an amateur. I don't know. I just tried it. And then if I'm great,
just having a look now.
Yeah. And then if
Lieutenant
I'm great,
Gruber.
How do you know that? Oh, is it on the website? Jesus.
I'm on the website.
Yeah. I'm playing Gruber. It's fun. He's the camp Nazi. Coming soon. End of March.
You're getting typecast again. Yeah.
Typecast again. You know how many Nazis I played? I played some more. Plenty. They used to pick up the phone. It got to the point where they'd just call me and go, hey, Todd.
I have a Nazi.
We got another Nazi for you. And the only question I'd go was, what rank? Because I don't play corporals anymore, man. It's officers only.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's Lieutenant, Gruber. Super camp. The super camp Nazi, yeah? They're good. You can imagine the fun I am having with the character.
Okay.
And Jay cannot be there because he's going to India. Cancel the trip.
Cancel the trip to see. I mean, I'm considering now with you doing
this.
You
must cancel it, yes.
Wow, that'd be so fun. I would laugh hard.
You would laugh hard, yeah. Rob, you're invited.
Hey, thank you. Well, I know when it is. I've got the tab up here. So
got it up, yeah. When are we going to see each other next? We need to hang out some point.
Yeah. Well, are you in London?
Yeah, I come down to London when I need to. Yeah. How'd that book turn out? Did you finish it? Our book. Is it up?
I imagine so. Yeah. My role in it was done. But
there was no flubs. There was no pickups.
No.
That was pretty good.
Listen, I don't let those slip.
Yeah, no, he was right on top of it, Jay. He was like, boom, stop me. But we got done even fast. I think we broke a record for me anyway. I was out of there about 3-4 hours before we were. I got out there about 2:00 on a. It's good times. We'll have to do some more. Tell your boys at ID Audio you got the guy.
You know the guy. Yeah.
I know the guy. Jay wants to do some more of those softcore pornography ones.
I was trying to not talk about that. I'm not bringing it up. And
Oh,
Jay
Rob and I
has
had that
never done
conversation.
those.
And by the way, Rob, I'm going to tell you this. Jay and I went to the party. We can bring up this party again, but
And
we went
Lawrence was the engineer from the website.
Right. And I had multiple conversations with audiobook readers, and everybody had a porn story. So for audiences who don't know what I'm talking about, there's been a few. Well, if you're an audiobook reader, at some point, it turns out that your agent will come to you and go, I've got a book for you. It's a bit racy. They want to know if you mind. And then you'll go, no, I'm an adult. I know a little racy. It doesn't matter. And they go, yeah, that's what I thought. And then you get in there and they send you the book and you go, oh, this is pornography.
Yes, it does happen.
Pure. Yeah.
You go to work one day. It's not like, you wouldn't accidentally start working on a porn set.
Right.
But you
think you're turning up to one job and all of a sudden, take your knickers off.
Whereas there have been days where I've thought, I'm working in the porn industry today.
Yeah.
I didn't sign up to this.
Yeah. And the worst is when you get stuck on a phrase. Well, yeah, you have to listen, or you have to keep repeating it and you keep messing it up and you're just like, I just want to get these words out. I won't say them because this is a clean podcast, but cock ring, for example. I don't want to have to keep saying.
I won't say them, but I'll.
Oops, you see what I did there? Accidentally. And that's where Rob goes, all right, I'll just slip you back in on cock ring.
Yeah.
Jump you back in right there on cock ring?
Back in again for cock ring? Great.
Okay, there's a little swallow there. Can we one more time?
Yeah, we can hear your lips smacking.
Does this go into the podcast? I'm not sure.
Anything else you want to say, talk about, Rob?
No. I think I've. Well, I'm sure
you've embarrassed yourself enough. What did we miss? I don't want to miss anything. I think we hit a lot of.
It's a weird dynamic. I feel like I should ask you guys more questions, but
probably should. We're a wealth of information, and knowledge.
Wait, okay. I do have one last question for you because we've been talking about enjoyment. Do you enjoy what you're doing? Like, how do you feel about what you're doing now?
I do enjoy it. You know what? This is a whole new topic, I suppose. I see my life as I have a kind of base layer, which is just producing audiobooks, which I think is quite enjoyable. And then I have kind of maybe I'm being too candid here. But basically
that's not candid so far.
No, it's your time to talk about yourself. Say it.
Okay. Well, I was going to say the voice reels is kind of like is like a more creative and more
yeah, we get it. Audiobooks is bread and butter.
It inspires you and it's more inspiring.
Yeah. And then I want to leave space for creativity and seriously putting my mind to creative things without need for financial reward for that, but taking it a bit more seriously than just a complete hobbyist, as you might say.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not necessarily, it's more writing than it is acting at the moment for me. So I kind of see trying to bring up the floor so that my bread and butter is still enjoyable, but it's not the kind of, not necessarily my my like raison d'etre, or I mean I saw Rick Rubin, the music producer,
famous,
I saw him on Instagram or something saying that he was just talking about a guy who loved, I can't remember what it was, but he didn't put the pressure on himself for that to be his professional thing. And he was kind of making the point that your job doesn't have to be the thing you love most. And as long as you find time for that thing, enough time that you feel satisfied, then that still absolutely works. Which kind of rang some bells for me. As long as I don't find I mean, as long I still do. Yeah. To answer your question, Jay, yes, I
please.
enjoy it, but it's not the most riveting thing in the world.
Yeah. Okay, but good.
Fair enough, and it gives you space to also then to go out and seek the things that could make you, more creative
Absolutely.
things.
It's one part of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I
it's.
enjoy.
I mean, I think it's great. That's why I kind of wanted to have you on and talk to you about it, because I think you made the right choice for you. I think the acting stuff has informed everything else. I don't think. I kind of have this expression Jay can verify, but it's, once an actor, always an actor. So meaning that's, it's ingrained in you, it's in your heart. And it's in your training at this point too. So you can apply that across the board. So here you're dealing with actors, helping them make reels. You're dealing with actors in the audiobook world for, the most part. And you understand the process, and that's going to, in the future, inform any project you get into beyond, because essentially the actor understands entertainment, and an actor, he or she, understands an audience. You don't get through 5 years of solid training and some work and some practice and things like that without understanding what an audience is looking for, what an audience needs. And the audience can be a one-on-one person you're having a conversation with, like now, or 1,000 people in a stadium, right? Or in a theater, or people out there who are downloading your product, watching it, listening to it on their own time, like I do with this podcast. I built this thing for the audience. That's why it's got this kind of look, and it's got the sounds, and it's got a bit of a feel, and it's got Jay with the fun and the color, and it's got great guests, blah, 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 because otherwise what's my product? Yeah. And I understand that because I understand acting.
Yes. Yeah.
Simple.
I agree with that. That's well put.
Thank you.
Offstage acting.
That's offstage acting. Robbie. Let's catch up, buddy. We'll talk soon, yeah?
Yeah, sounds good. You
need more
Great.
fuel.
Jay, lovely to meet you.
It's great to meet you. Thank you for coming on. And congrats again, Voice Reel London. You nailed it.
VoiceReelLondon.com, folks. Check him out, especially if you need a voice reel.
All the way through without this.
I haven't thought about it once.
Spoken to that at all.
Yeah, well, now you did, so.
Ruined it.
If somebody needed a voice reel and they weren't in London, would you be able to sort that out? They could record.
As long as they could travel to London, yeah. We record in the.
But could I do it from my home studio, for example?
You could, but part of our USP is that we're in a very nice studio, professional studio.
I'm trying to get you more customers, you dope.
I appreciate that. I'm just trying to get you
we have a global audience here. I'm trying to.
Listen, his brand is Voice Reel London.
He wants to invite you in for biscuits and tea, and you could sit in a nice little studio space. It's like a proper.
ID Audio is a great studio. They're great space.
They're great over there. It's comfortable. I'm always good.
Yeah.
And you know who's there? Nina Gold, right across so if you are an actor, I always like to pretend that I'm lost, and I go into Nina Gold's office, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Is this ID Audio?" And they go, "No," and I go, "Oh." Headshot resume.
No, Todd.
They go, "No, Todd." We tell you every time you come through. And I go, well, "Here's my headshot and resume." Anyway, just tell Nina that Todd popped by.
How does that play out for you, Todd? Does that tend to go down well?
Big time. I'm up for all kinds. Yeah. We're gonna have her on the podcast next. Smarty, smart Alec. That's how it played out for me. All right, take a hike. We'll talk to you soon, Rob. Cheers. Thanks, buddy.
Bye.
Bye. Hang out for a second. All right, Jay. Woo. That's cool.
That was great. That's really good to get insight into someone who's like in the middle of this, point in their life,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I found out he was an actor, I was like, wait a minute. And then not just an actor, because, anybody can be like, yeah, I did some stuff.
No, but he trained at Oxford.
Yeah, he trained. He went the full, and then he got
Yeah.
The full Monty, as it were. And he went,
Monty.
And he went out there in the world, and then a little opportunity came up. But I think it's still, I like to talk to people who have experience in it and training in it, because I think it informs what they still do, down the road.
Yeah, totally.
Especially if it's creative, what you're doing.
Yeah.
But it always will. I see the cops are coming for you there. Is that a siren in here?
Oh, do you hear that?
Of course.
Yeah, they are coming. Yeah. It is me. I've done some terrible things in my life, everyone, and now's not the time for me to go into confession.
I finally found you.
Just know that
Probably listening. Yeah.
Lived life to the fullest, and that's
Tell us about your trip to India.
Well,
when are you leaving?
I leave next Friday, so I leave in 9 days. No, 8 days.
I forgot you were leaving. I was trying to coordinate with another guest, and you're like, "No, I'm not. I'm out of here."
Yeah, I'll be gone for a month. Whole month.
Dang.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do without you for a month, Jay?
I'm sure you'll actually like talk, and like you're probably gonna like have very.
I'm not having any guests without you.
What?
No, the whole thing goes on hiatus.
No, you're too. You could, but I do know that everyone does say it is our banter that they enjoy. So
they enjoy the banter. I enjoy the banter. I don't want to just talk to one person and be like, So God, tell me about yourself. And then what did you do? I can barely pay attention, when you're here.
Wow. I'm honored by your words, Todd Kramer.
I know, maybe, I don't know what's wrong with me today. I'm feeling sentimental.
It's because we've almost hit our 50 milestone. That's why.
Yeah, we have. Yeah. Coming up. Rocking it.
That's pretty big. So
we say this every episode, though. 47. Wow, that's huge. 48.
No, it's just because last episode we said 46.
Yeah, now we're saying whatever this one is.
And the next episode we'll say 48.
It's almost 50. I know.
Watch, we'll get to 49.
Once you get past 50, and then it's like 52, and you'll be like, man, it's not. It's like a birthday. It's nothing. It won't be anything again until it gets like 75, maybe 8, 100. It doesn't have to be 100.
100.
Then we'll stop talking about it. All right, we won't bore anybody anymore. It was great to talk to Rob. I see he's left. Rob Cairns, Cairns. I'm not sure how to say it. Check him out. VoiceReelLondon.com. If you need a voice reel, check him out. We recommend. It's a good thing to get. I don't know what he charges. But special discount, 10% discount if you mention Offstage acting. I'll be like, what?
This has not been notarized by the lawyers.
Try it out. See, you'll probably get 10%. We love you, everybody. Thanks for tuning in here on the Offstage Acting Podcast. We'll see you next time.
He struggled to figure out what he wanted to say. And
I think that's the Virgo, kind of the innocence.
That's the Virgo.
It's the Virgo.